things that we may have learned when we were younger, but we're trying to just redo that and let the families say, they've probably already been saying it, but let the families and say through this competition, see, yeah, this is good information.
Absolutely.
And the
Absolutely.
students get money and prizes too for participating. And then the winner also gets a bigger prize.
Wow. One of the things that I would like for you to help us with is if there are those who would like to be a part of your efforts with the young people, what kind of assistance might you solicit, and how can we volunteer to get on board?
Oh, that'd be wonderful. We always need more people that will be financial literacy coaches or career coaches. Because with everything that we do, we always go back to asking the young leaders, so what do you want to do? What's your career goals? What's all that stuff? Because that's all a part of that process of decision making. And so we always need people that will come, maybe be a speaker on their careers, or if they like finances or running businesses. The students are doing all these things, and any way that we can come in for hour here, 10 minutes here to share information and to be just be a surrogate mentor monitor, the more they see us, the more they see us. And we're telling them, we're kind of reinforcing what they're learning. They start seeing us as wise people again. Sometimes our young people don't see us as having answers and being wise about their futures. So the more they see us, then they'll like, you have the answer. So come on and let us know. But you can also give us a call, 816-203-9524. Let us know if you have young people that you want to get involved, or if you want to get involved somehow. We welcome a way to spread the financial literacy. It's a community campaign this summer. We're getting it to everybody that we can.
Well, I have a question for you that you're going to enjoy answering, I promise you.
Okay, okay.
Before I do that, let me remind those who are watching and listening that this is Wave Your Grades on KUAW.org. My name is Carl Boyd. I am your host every Saturday, 1 until 2 p.m. And for those who see my cap that was given to me by VFW Post 8100, it says Proud Military Advocate. And I find myself explaining to people, even at the grocery stores, who want to thank me for my service because I'm donning this particular cap. I am an individual who is an advocate, but I am a civilian. My oldest brother, a Marine, second to him, an airman, next to him, a soldier. I am a civilian indebted to my brothers, my parents, for my being the first in my family to graduate from college. But in owing that debt, I feel that American students should also strive for excellence in honor of our troops because we all owe that debt. With us today, attorney Valencia Broaddus, who has been a perennial first Saturday uh, guest along with the young people with whom she operates. And we were not on last Saturday. So on this second Saturday program, we have our first Saturday guest, attorney Valencia Broaddus. Now, having said all of that, now, attorney Broaddus, let me ask you the question that I think you will enjoy answering. Two parts. One, how long you've been doing what you're doing. And part two, is there a youngster or perhaps two or three of whom you are especially proud?
Okay. I have been career coaching. That's what I call it. I've been a career coach, career mentor for 30 years now. We've been doing the Smart Career
30
Club.
years.
Yes. We've been doing the Smart Career Club since 1999. So 23 years official. And so as an incorporated organization, so for 23 years. And there are several older young people that I just want to just mention. One is Miss Commiscio Johnson, Commiscio Hooker Johnson. She was Commiscio Hooker, but now it's Commiscio Johnson. She actually helped me to start the Smart Career Club 23 years ago when I was a lawyer at Stinson Morrison Hecker, and I was the attorney there that helped with Northeast High School, like to be the liaison to help high school students who interested in law. And so through doing all of that, Miss Camicio, she was a student at Northeast High School and doing the internship at Stinson, and I was her attorney mentor at the firm. And we kept working and we started Smart Career Club. And so, and we still stay connected today. She's doing great things in real estate and all that. And so, of course, I'm a real estate attorney. So it's always great when people are doing things, you know, with housing and stuff. That's kind of fun. And then there's, so that's Miss Camicio, Mr. Michael McGill. He is one of my mentees years and years ago as well. He interned at my law firm one summer. He was a 13-year-old young man who made me believe he was a whole lot older when he sent me his resume and all that. He was just so dynamic, and we laugh about it now. But now, years later, he not only he's an awesome educator, speaker, writer. I mean, he's a phenomenal person who does helping young people to navigate through situations where they might be just having a little, but he's great at it. And so he's very successful and focused again on helping youngsters to be the best that they can be. So that's a couple. And then I got 4 students right now that I know that they've just finished their first year of college, and that's exciting. And that's Miss Jalen and Jasmine Hart, the twins. They just finished that first year and they're excited. I mean, they're like, okay, good. They're ready to do some more. And then, of course, Miss Sirius Shields. She also finished her first year of college. And so she's trying to make some more things happen. There's so many of them, you know.
Yes, I can imagine.
So all of y'all out there, if you're listening, I love you all. And they're all doing really great things. And we are hoping at some point to have a 25-year anniversary or something to where we can really somehow capture what they're doing in a book or something. But we're not planning that yet because there's so many of the Smart Career Clubbers that, like, what are they doing now? What is everybody doing? So,
well, I would like to find out about your optimism as it relates to where we are going as a people, and more specifically, more targeted, where we are going in Kansas City. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. And forgive me for my questions being so lengthy because I preface them with a story every time. And, the older you get, the more stories you have. But
memories.
thank you. My wife and I attended Antioch Missionary Baptist Church when we were in Arizona, and our pastor, Petrie, and my wife, wonderful Wanda, accused me of having the gift of faith. I am a chronic optimist. And when I think about Black Wall Street, I think about 18th and Vine, and where in 1921 there was a Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Might there be 100 years later in 2021 a Vine is Fine in Kansas City, Missouri, and our ability to recreate that kind of climate? Where are you as it relates to uh, optimism versus pessimism, or what some people refer to as realism?
I think that um, with Juneteenth coming up, there's just so many things that are happening, you know, that one of the things is we're learning more about not just our history, but I think as a people in general first, and then I'll come to Kansas City. We're learning a little bit more about our capabilities and that we have been there before. So the more that we're learning about our history, whether it's about Africa or Tulsa or just everything, we're like, we did that. I mean, inventions, everything. We're learning so much for real now about our history and what we've done and where we've really come from. Not just Africa, but and slavery, but we're really learning like, wow, we did some, I mean, hidden colors. We did some fantastic stuff and we do fantastic stuff. And I think what's happening, not just with older adults like ourselves, but even younger people, the more that stories are coming out, the bad ones, about, police brutality and all that. But with that, there's also been this resurgence of people saying we got to unify, and to reunify or to unify, we got to learn about each other, to learn how great we are, learn about our assets and our resources, and let's put them together. And so this flood of history has been happening since during the last administration, especially the end. Lots of history, mobilizing for change through voting, just all sorts of stuff. So
Mm.
through all that mobilizing for, you know, change, voting, also mobilizing people, I can't think of the state and I apologize, maybe Atlanta, but they bought all that land really in the last year. And they're now, taking all that land and building a whole city on it. Some black people, just some families, they took their money and they're buying up stuff. So as we're learning more and more again about who we are, our capabilities, our resources, and just starting a little more to say, ain't nobody else got to help us. We better try to figure out how to help ourselves for real. Remembering that, at the end of the day, we are still, who we are, and we can help ourselves, and others can help us too. So with that, you think about Black Wall Street, and the more that you hear people talk about Black Wall Street, especially on the internets and Facebooks, people get really excited, and they're like, "We need to do this. We need to do this." And so then you see lots of questions about people, doing the pop up shops and doing again the markets and the markets like the on 18th and Vine. They have the First Fridays, and all the vendors are out there.
Right.
So as they're doing a lot of that, but also just bringing business and people, we are starting to do a little bit more about our finances. We're, about marketing our products, about understanding that, we can do it even better than we did. And so my optimism is real because I see it happening. And,
Yes.
and there's bad stuff happening too, and I get that. But the education piece is deep because the more that we educate each other and ourselves about our history and the resources, I keep telling people, whatever you want to do, you can do it because the resources are there, but you got to go get the resources. And then people may say, well, I don't know how to get the resources. Well, I see more of a willingness now for other people to say, well, let me show you where they are. That's exciting that we are coming together more and saying, I'm gonna quit being petty. And if you weren't petty, that's great. But I'm gonna quit being petty. And I'm gonna show you the resources. I'm gonna share. I'm gonna mentor you. I'm gonna help you and your business to grow. I'm gonna take some young people and show them some things where we're a little more focused heavily now on helping ourselves.
Well, one of the things that you make me mindful of, and the reason that you, Attorney Valencia Broadus, are so important from my perspective, has to do with two things our young people cannot do. There are two things our young people cannot do, and why Attorney Valencia Broadus is so important. We say that we honor those who serve in the military. Our program is not a recruitment program, it is to honor the military. But even if it were, one of the things our young people cannot do when they are too young to do it is join the military. Two, one of the things our young people cannot do is vote. So here we have a situation where, particularly, but not exclusively, but particularly the young people with whom you work are highly intelligent and obviously motivated. But however intelligent, however motivated, we're not asking them to join the military, and we cannot ask them to vote yet. Attorney Valencia Broadus would have our young people to know that you don't have to vote or join the military to have a positive impact on your society. So, again, you may repeat what our young people are doing and can do, making sure we observe the deadlines that are coming up and or something that perhaps we haven't mentioned yet.
One of the things that, thank you so much, Mr. Boyd, is our Young Leaders Financial Jeopardy competition. It's going to be July 1st through August the 7th. And they're going to learn, they're going to compete. It'll be virtual, so you don't have to get them, to us, because we understand we get it. But they can do it online, and they'll basically just have some instruction. And please, middle school and juniors and seniors in high school. So middle school, sixth, seventh, eighth, and then of course juniors and seniors in high school. We want you to please come compete with us and have some fun, and you'll get some mentoring, and you'll also earn some money and some prizes, while you do it, just participating. And that number is 816-203-9524. And so from that, financial literacy, Jeopardy competition is happening. People want to come. If you want to be a mentor or just come and be a part of that cheering squad, like in Aquila Levy. I'm telling you, it's so exciting to be able to, as they're doing anything, whether it's sports, talent shows, whatever, we always stand up and cheer. Yes, my baby. That's my student. Financial literacy, let's do the same thing. So we'll be, promoting when it's happening, so we can have the cheering squad happening, for us to do that. That's the biggest thing. One of the things that we will be sharing with you a little more is we've got 7 brand new small businesses in the BEU Business Builders Club. And they have started their businesses, they're moving, and we're working on, of course, they have mentors, training sessions, and these are, adults, meaning they're older, but that's a big piece of what our young people are also watching. They're watching us build these small businesses, and they're learning so that eventually they can give them a little advice, or ask questions of how you doing that. And so as we're having our young leaders to watch this business builders cohort move and go and get the training through the textbooks and all of that, um, they have a real interest of, how do I do that? How do I make money? So that's a piece that we're trying to make sure that we are a part of, redeveloping a Black Wall Street, like you said, on the vine, because it was there. We had all the businesses and stuff.
Yes.
So teaching the young people that. So those are the biggest things we're looking at right now. Financial jeopardy. That's our deepest focus of how do we make sure that that's going and growing, and that we're spreading that awesome, increasing our wealth, making it rain energy.
One of the things that is very important is, as we have visitors to Kansas City, Missouri, that they have opportunities to meet people like you and visit places like 18th and Vine. How are we relating to those outside of greater Kansas City? And are you familiar with other efforts with whom we might partner or that are similar to what's going on here?
As far as other cities, I don't know, but I do know that specifically here, there's a group that's called Black Excellence. And we just kind of come in contact with them recently. And they do a lot of helping not just young leaders, but older professionals, all of us, to really build our professional development, our networking, and all these different career industries. And so we're helping our young people get connected to them. And then, of course, the Black Archives, they do amazing stuff there. And so trying to make sure that we're helping our young leaders to connect and learn. And that's how we're going to learn about our history. And so we know that there are organizations that are, it's Money Smart, but FDIC, a lot of those places, they have different financial literacy programs all around the country, but we're not connected in that way. But we do know that there is a national financial Literacy Day, and it's on August the 14th, which is also the day that we're going to be holding one of our big events. And so we're lining everything up so that we will be doing financial literacy on that national day. So we will be looking to promote so that we're in Kansas City, we're doing it too.
Well, now let me tell you something. When I hear words from you, Attorney Valencia Broaddus, oftentimes your um, in your phrasing what is going on, you will continue to emphasize different things. And I want to say, wait, did you say, because it was almost casually that you mentioned 7 businesses? I want to say, what? Hold it, wait. And I think that we cannot trivialize the things in which you are engaged and what the real implications of something like that are. So I would say to you, one, congratulations. And two, now having 7, which is quite a few, do you kind of stop there, concentrate on those, hesitate about the ongoing development, or if someone has an idea right now, you can still receive ideas and participation?
Oh, absolutely. We are, as most people may already know, but if they don't, the Black Economic Union, they have been, when they started, 50 some years ago, we tell a story that there's a local dentist here that was just graduated from dental school, an awesome lady, graduated from dental school, and she went to a bank to get a loan to start her business. And when she went to that bank, the bank would not give her the loan. And so she just happened to run into Curtis McClinton in the grocery store. There was a big article on this. That's how we found out. She ran into Curtis McClinton in the grocery store. He had just started the BEU and he was president. And she was like, "Hey, Curtis." I mean, they knew each other. And she's, he said, "Well, how you doing?" She said, she got out of dental school, and the bank told her, "There's no way that you're a dentist. You're Black." And so, no, this is Kansas City Star, and they did a full tribute on it. It was really interesting. And so she told Mr. McClinton that story, and he says, "That's okay. The BEU, we will get you a loan, and we're going to help you do your business." BEU has been doing that for over 50 years. And
Yeah.
so, and they, of course, up until, I mean, really, they had a full incubator, and just did lots of great work helping businesses to move and get started and go. And so we're excited that through the Curtis R. McClinton Leadership Academy that we have been able to start a brand new cohort of what he started doing 50 some years ago. And so the Business Builders program is under the Curtis R. McClinton Leadership Academy, and we are supporting them holistically on growing and getting where they want to be. As long as they want to be and participate with us, we will help them. And so this is our first cohort under Leadership Academy, but then we also will be doing another cohort in the fall. So we're excited. This is our first one under that academy. We're gonna keep on going, so you will be hearing awesome stuff, and hopefully they'll come visit us if you'll let us. Let us come on one of the first Saturdays and hear from those business owners what they're doing, what they're receiving.
Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I would think that would be essential to not only their progress, but also to all of our progress as we observe and support them. Let me remind those who are listening, that this is Wave Your Grades coming to you every Saturday from 1 until 2 p.m. KUAW.org. And my name is Carl Boyd. I'm your host. We have the founder, Louis George Walker, who produces and engineers for us these Saturdays, which is magnificent. Our very special guest today is Attorney Valencia Broaddus, talking about young people, financial literacy, job development and interaction, partnerships, and the promotion and progress of Black people in business and aspiring to become business people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Attorney Valencia brought us during our conversation. Brother Walker has not chimed in. I always want to say at any point, just let us know and please join the conversation. Uh, we have a few minutes left, which give me an opportunity to ask of Attorney Valencia Broadus how you view formal education as it relates to helping our young people understand how to negotiate the landscape. And to make my question more specific, for instance, how do we do as educational institutions when it comes to something like critical race theory, when it comes to something like observing voting rights and what has happened since 1965, and again, even locally, something like financial literacy, how do our educational institutions do?
It's interesting because I think that our former institutions, I give them on those three topics for sure. I give them all a D. And that the D though is because there's already meaning if an A through F, I give them a D, which is so I want to make sure I'm saying that really clear. A D, like as in not the word dumb, but you know what I mean. So,
I understand.
so
A barely passing grade, is that what?
okay, there you go. Yes, yes.
Okay.
And the reason is that that's not what they were designed to do. And so we have to remember that they weren't designed to help us to really
Mm.
be deep critical thinkers and being able to go and just do things on our own, like starting businesses and being inventors and innovators. You know, there when that formal school system was built, it was really about producing individuals that could just go and work in someone else's factory, which means that you have to be taught to do as you're told.
To be consumers.
You know, so when we think of that, it's like, okay, that's good. Now there are some schools or programs that, you know, kind of go outside that a little bit with committees and clubs, after school programs, you know, that they may connect with. But the formal education itself, unless that school is built to be a voting rights school, or you know,
Mm.
some magnet or something like that, where they
Mhm.
focus on like African centered or you know schools, that's really not what they were built to do. And I also want to make sure that my thought is that it is not the formal educational system's job to teach my children all the other things I need them to know. You know, if I need them to understand about the Black experience and, you know, how to make sure that we're navigating, that's a home thing too. It's both, but it's a home thing too.
Clearly.
And we got to get that at home. It's
Mhm.
home ec teaches them how to cook and maybe do a tire or do whatever, but they should be learning a lot of that at home too.
Absolutely. As a
And
matter of,
so financial literacy, yes, they must, in many states, they must take a personal finance class to graduate out of high school to graduate. But they should be learning that at home too. You know, taking them shopping and how to budget and how to write a check and how to do some things. So even though I give the school system in those areas, you know, that grade, the school system has been what it's been for a very long time, but until maybe the past 10, 15 years, we were still getting it somehow. So we need to ask ourselves about if we used to get, you know, information on our race and history and how to navigate and how to be safe and how to help ourselves and how to do housing African communities, then where did it stop? And is that all the school system's fault? Or did we also stop giving information too?
you have done something and you are doing something that is so very important that once again I find myself thanking you for what you are doing. And I'll tell you just what I mean by that. Even while we recognize in cases where our formal school systems do not address those things that are extremely important to the progress of our Black families in America, you have a way of helping that to be addressed while at the same time helping our young people to understand there are yet things in which you must be proficient to be able to go to the next level. So even if our formal institutions, if not are failing, but at the least not totally satisfying where we need to go, Attorney Valencia Broadus can introduce us to a whole lot of young students who are A students so that they know what is necessary and a term that might be used to quote play the game unquote
Right.
properly, and then to continue to be tutored to become self-determining.
Amen.
So, so I thank you for that. I know we're both and all
Oh, you're welcome.
watching the clock. So that lengthy question brought us to this. Let me ask Attorney Broadus to give us final remarks and instructions for today, knowing that we'll be having you back and announcing your programs between now and July 1st.
Kansas City, if you will, please, whether it's with, our program with the financial ambassadors or deputy competition or anything else, help put our young leaders in programs this summer that will assist in giving them some of those proficiencies, whether it's, finances or learning how to, do crafts or just something that will lead a little bit more towards their futures. But join us, please. And you can give us a call, 816-203-9524. We're going to have an amazing financial Jeopardy camp, and we're going to have fun. We're going to learn, and we really bring your middle schooler. Just call us, enroll, and we'll tell you more. We're going to be having a session, and just give us a call, 816-203-9524. Or, of course, call Mr. Boyd. He'll get us connected.
Thank you
Thank you,
very
Mr.
much.
Boyd.
And I will have to do that, stootsforboots at gmail.com. And very quickly, before I get off of here, let me not get off without saying to Attorney Valencia Broadus, as I thank you, I don't want to mischaracterize what you said, and I don't want to leave. When you said that they might get a D, it was because of those particular areas about which I asked critical race theory and some other things. So don't let us leave
Right.
with people saying that Attorney Broader said our schools are D schools. We were talking very specifically,
Yes.
and we will talk more about that, obviously. Thank you so very much.
That's a
And
good point, Mr. Boyd, because they do the math and other stuff is good. It's those areas we mentioned
thank you.
that I gave a comment on specifically.
Okay, thank you so much. It is time to say goodbye for today on Wave Your Grades. Our statement for June 12th: students have permission to prepare for fall all summer. Warriors Missions is to stay prepared from fall through every summer. My name is Carl Boyd for Wave Your Grades. Thank you, Attorney Broadus, George Walker, gracious God, and wonderful Wanda. I'm on my way home.
Amen. Drive safe. Be safe. Bye, Mr.